See if the old Honda will run today. Should. I don't see why it wouldn't, but sometimes you never know. A little bit of throttle. Look at that. First pull. Let the blade and everything get turning. Get you guys set up over here. Yeah, it should be good enough. Today's going to be a bit of a rough day sawing just because the wind is coming out of the west, heading east. So it's going to be blowing right in my face. All the sawdust and everything, but that's okay. All I'm doing there is just wiping off the edge of the rails here where the saw runs. You can see the little bit of stuff builds up. Call it pitch. It's like all the sticky, sappy stuff out of the log. You'll get that in the sawdust. I got pitch all over my measuring stick here, but eventually it'll get built up on here to the point where even in your wheels, see it all down jammed in there. Makes it hard. Can make it hard to push the mill, but that's all right. I'll make a few cuts and I'll come back and check in with you guys here. What up? RJ Janoson? Welcome in, guys. Like I said, I'm gonna go saw up a few cuts here. I'll check back with you in a couple minutes. Appreciate y'all hanging out here. Like I said, with that wind coming out of the west, it's gonna be blowing right in my face all day. I don't know if you can tell yet, but one cut I'm already covered in dust. Usually by the end of the day, my eyes are a little dusty and red, but it's all part of it, I guess. I got a mountain of stuff to clean up here. Those are all just slabs, flats on 1-inch boards that I don't need for the job I'm doing right now. So that's basically all stuff that's left over. I'm gonna have to pick through it all, make 1x6, 1x4. Like a lot of it's pretty much already done. There's really nothing wrong with boards like that. But that'll be all 2x6s, stuff like that. So for those of you who have never sawed lumber before, basically now that I've got it flattened, got a pretty decent surface here, I'm going to rotate the log 90 degrees, so basically like this, and stand it upright, flat side over there, and then I'll start ripping this edge off until I get another nice flat surface, until I'm down, to whatever 6-inch by however wide it is, and then I'll slab my 2-inch boards off it. But my eyes are already burning. That sawdust is a little rough on the eyeballs, but I'll be back in a few minutes here. I can see, what up, Jeffrey? Welcome in. I can see the rest of the gang trying to get the bikes going. I got the wife and the kids out here today. I seen one go zipping by on his bicycle. We actually have our own private little dirt bike track in the back here. But I guess we're riding bicycles today. You're on YouTube, say hello. Hey. You want to say hello to YouTube, Odie? Hello, YouTube. Hey, you guys going four-wheeling?
Yeah.
Nice. I got your dirt bike running.
Mine, Odie?
Yeah, I took it for a rip around the block. I had to drain the carb on it. It had some old gas in there. Anyways, where's his bike?
Up top.
Okay, we'll have fun. Be safe. They get to go play while I'm sawing up some lumber. That's all right. The kids love it out here, and I can't complain about that. Most of the time, they're like, yeah, I want to go on my iPad. I want to play games. And then we bring them out here, and they're as happy as could be, ripping around. Anyways, back to what we were doing. Now that we've got, 3 flat surfaces here, I'm going to take one more 2-inch off this side, which will leave me 6 inches this way, and then I'll stand it up and I'll just rip my 2x6s in there. So I will be back in a few minutes. I need a splash of my Timmy's coffee. Man, it's a beautiful day, but boy, is it dusty. Man, can this guy cut wood or what? What up, Woody? So, that one log, that was our yield of clean, you know, nice looking 2x6s, good and square and straight. That one's got some wane on one end, but there ain't nothing wrong with that. And we also got this slabber off it as well, which I'll turn into another one of these. So, lots of fun. The boys been hauling her away pretty fast. I've milled 150 of these or so in the last 3 days. And they've hauled them all the way. They're actually already all installed on the dock. What up, Sai Sang? Whoops. Whoops. You know, it's a Saturday. I really don't feel like being out here doing this, but I got stuff to get done, so you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Pretty nice boards though. The grain on Cedar is beautiful. It's not beautiful on my body, but you know, that's my own doing for choosing this as a profession. And as a lot of people, I guess a lot of people wouldn't know, it does take a fair little bit of skill to be able to, you know, look at a log and figure out how you're gonna cut it and how much to take off each side, that sort of thing. A log, a lot of times, you know, they look pretty straight, like something like this, pretty pin straight, but then you get it on the mill and you realize there's a little crook in the end of it or something. I mean, that one is pretty damn straight, but you know, something like that. Right at the end it has a little hook, or there'd be lots in my log pile here. That's a good one. Pin straight to about here, and then there's a little nook in it. So it's like you'd probably get a 12, and then you'd have to cut a 4-foot section out, and then likely just 8s because the rest is pretty small. But kind of just the way it works. Kind of just the way it works. I do got to pick through all this stuff yet. Get as many 2-inch boards out of it as I can. Oh, here comes the 4-wheeler. Here comes the gang. Sounds like the brakes are squawking a little bit. Scooting along on the old Honda. Here, I'm gonna set you guys up somewhere here if you'll stand. Yeah, put you back where you've been. In this pile. Should we go chase him down on the PW? I don't know that I can drive the mini bike with one hand. It's pretty little. I don't flex as good as I used to. I'll see if I can catch them without crashing. It's not a real big motorcycle. I probably should have taken the one with the training wheels. Pretty hard to one hand this little wee bike. Uh-oh. Oh. So there actually used to be a hiking trail on our property that is no longer there. Man, this thing is tiny. Look at my legs compared to the bike. Ah! I should go get my big bike. My hot rod. Ow, that thing hurts my legs. This is part of one of the little rhythm sections we started for the kids. It's obviously growing up and a little bit full of water, but a lot of water, eh? Well, the quad would go through it, no problem. There's a couple little berms and little tables for them. What are you guys doing? Yeah, that'll be deep on that end. Well, if you went slow. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna get my little mini bike back over there. Yeah. Are you guys not gonna drive your dirt bikes? No? What do you think, Cody? Why don't you hit the big jump and just go splash right in that puddle?
What?
So do a big jump and splash right in that puddle.
Then you get wet with sand.
Yeah, well, you got a helmet. I don't know, it'll be deep. It won't be up on this side, Hunter. It won't be bad along the trees.
Yeah, no, it's okay. That's in the winter here. It was like this, but it was all ice. If I had known that, we could have been shoveled it off.
Here, hold this for a second.
Can I see?
Say hi.
Hi. Is it YouTube? Just do it. Hi.
Yeah, say hi.
Say hi. Say hello. The wind is blowing right in my face on the sawmill. It's so dusty. It's terrible.
You definitely need some glasses.
I had a pair of goggles, but I lost them. They looked pretty speedy. They were like swim goggles. Well, at least it kept the dust out of my eyes. I don't know if I can drive that mini bike back up the hill. I might just boot down the side of the road and my luck, I'll see a cop or something stupid. Look at that.
Hi.
Some deer poop there, boys. All right. So for reference, the seat of this bike is up to my knees. A little small for somebody my size. I don't know that I'm gonna make it back up the hill over there. I'll have to push it up the hill. Come on, baby. I better walk it up. Kill my kid's poor little bike. Ow! Well, we crashed. We crashed the mini bike. See if we can get through the rock patch without going down again. My toes are too big. All right. Well, one crash, not so bad. I'm kind of surprised the bike didn't shut off. I got a thorn in my hand. Okay, back to what we were doing. Kind of just out here playing today. I'm feeling lazy. Kind of worked fairly hard all week, so kind of just picking away. Picking away what we got to get done. There's the screeching Honda. Grab my Timmies. Kudos to Kubota for that. Now, what log are we gonna pick out of here? Probably that guy right there. He looks pretty nice. Like he wants to get sliced up. I didn't put my log stops down. And usually when you do that, the friggin' logs end up rolling off the back of the mill. Normally. So, we'll toss some up. I don't know how I can put you there. stops are up. Toss this on the tractor. Oh, my wife just texted me and said there's so many ducks in the pond here. Have to turn this all a little bit. Something like that. Just coughing and gagging this morning. There. Oh, something like that so you guys can see both ends of the logs. I just gotta go for a quick pee here before we get going again. All right. Felt like I had to turn that handle 1,000 times. I mean, I kind of did. Some knots. Some knotties. I'll put you back over here and keep sawing some wood. Cut lumber, be careful of the log piles. You can come over here if you want. Just come out the middle. Where all those rocks are. That wind is blowing perfectly. We're coming right in my friggin' eyes, which is not fun. What's up, buddy? You seen duckies at the dirt bike track? Duckies at the dirt bike track? Yeah? How many? Like 4? Did you say quack quack? What'd you say? Quack quack. I'm gonna change that blade. No, it's a little too windy for that right now, bud. I'm gonna change that blade and see if that doesn't help a little bit with the dust, and I might just call it for the day because that's ridiculous. I can't even see. It's so dusty. I'll keep this blade for some other projects. It's not super dull. Just when you get into those great big logs, they need to be pretty sharp. And then obviously the slower I'm going, the more dust coming off it. So we'll swap blade out. If I can do it without stabbing myself again, cut my leg really good. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this from here. For those of you who don't know, you step on the center of your blade, spin it 360 degrees, push down, end up with a nice little coil. I just hang my older ones in the tree. Like I said, this one, you can tell it's still in pretty good shape compared to some of these other ones that have been hanging here. Some of them aren't bad, just when I made my pad here, it's all 2" minus, so every once in a while you get them in with the logs. Toss a new one on. Yeah, like these will all go to get sharpened. I'll reuse them again. Some of them are no good. Some of them are broke completely, but you do go through a pile of blades. So let's see if I can unravel this without harpooning myself. Those teeth on those things are like razors, and when they get you, they suck, and they tend to get you pretty often. Should wear gloves. I'm pretty bad for that. Find it's hard to do anything with mittens on. So, see if I can do this without getting myself here. One way to do it, but sometimes you end up dulling your blade. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this. Turn you a little bit. I don't like it because there's rock and stuff on the ground. I'm going to do it anyways and hope it doesn't dull my blade, but you can just go. And now the teeth are backwards. The saw runs counterclockwise. There. That's good. goes on like that. Or I guess it runs clockwise and it spits everything out. Now, these doors. So I actually made these. You can see they're all chewed up. Sometimes when you throw a blade, it'll get caught in these doors. It used to have metal, just like the rest of the guard. And instantly, if it spit a blade, it would just rip all the teeth off. So I swapped it out on these hinges with the pieces of plywood. At least that way, you know, for whatever reason the blade gets knocked off, it'll just cut into the plywood rather than destroy the entire blade. And then I can just go get it sharpened and still reuse it. I can get her on there. This can be a bit of a pain, getting them on. Too much going on. I'm trying to hold the saw blade. Get you guys set up right here. You cold, huh?
No, I'm okay.
Did you see me lay Odie's bike down?
No, where?
Where all the rocks are poking up in the trail.
Oh, by the sign?
My friggin' toe hit one and it just like knocked me over.
I want to see that video.
I'm literally just driving along and I'm like, I hope I can get through the rock patch, and then I just fall over. One thing every time I change a blade. So these are just rubber, kind of like a fan belt, V-belt, running on the shivs up here. And that's what actually the blade rides on. If it was steel on steel, it would slip. So there's rubber here. And you can see there's, you know, sticky stuff and sawdust built up on the blade, or on the wheels. So I always like to try to, I just use my little tool, my little measuring stick, stick it on the edge and scratch all the gunk and crud off the wheels. So eventually, if you don't keep them clean, they can actually build up enough where the blade will start getting too tight because there's not enough room there, and you can break blades that way. So these blades I've been buying are actually, I wouldn't say they're too small, but they're 3 inches shorter than the ones I typically would buy. So, I mean, it's not by any means, it's not tight, but it's a snug fit. They can be kind of tricky to get on. And then this little doodad threads in here. I don't know if you can see that turning. Basically, it just makes this hinge, which takes up all the slack in the blade. They're pretty primitive setups. Like this one is by any means not a fancy sawmill or anything, but it cuts pretty good as long as you know how to use it and figure it all out. Mom sitting on you? We'll see if that makes much difference. Helps us with the dust a little bit, anyways. We'll see. Usually after a blade change, it's a good idea to idle it up a little bit, let it get a few rotations in, and then you can check, make sure it's tracking properly so it doesn't fly off on you. They're like 50 bucks a blade, so. dusty, but that did help quite a bit. So we're gonna flip that log, flatten it up, and then flip again and rip some more 2x6s. So like I said, still dusty as hell, but the fresh blade definitely helped a fair bit. Anyways, guys, my phone's gonna die here. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that sub button.